Hello everyone, I am your Vishnu. I think so everyone knows me well, especially my friends. Yeah, right. Today I'm going to teach you lessons in physics about the electrostatics. I think so everyone will know about these lessons, especially JEE and NEET students. Even though despite of these things, I'm going to give a few tips about these lessons. First, we have moved to the electrostatics. First, in electric charge, every charge will be associated with matter. Without associating, charge cannot be producible, and by associating only, these charges produce electric and magnetic field. Then properties of charges. Charges are also scalar properties. Don't forget these points only. Important point is this, especially many competitive exams they asking either it is a scalar or vector property, so don't forget it. Charge is a scalar property because it doesn't have a magnitude, then it can be transferable. Then always charges are associated with mass or something matter. Then charges are quantized means total charge on the body is always integral multiple of charge. That means Q equal to NE. Everyone knows this formula, I think so. Don't forget this formula because every sum will be illustrated by these problems only. I mean formulas only. Electron E is equal to 1.6 in 10 power minus 19 coulomb other charge of electron. Then quantization of charge. It is first suggested by Faraday. Suggested means it is orally delivered by Faraday, but it is experimentally proved by Millikan in 1912. Here charges are additive. Charges can be additive by vector form only, not in a normal form. Charges can be conserved because neither can be created nor can be destroyed. Then charges are invariant in nature. Invariant means independent of concept of frame of reference. I think so frame of reference will be known to everyone. Frame of reference means it is given by Isaac Newton. Then method of charge. Charge can be charge can be produced by rubbing, friction, induction and conduction. Then we are going to see the problems based on these units. First problem is 10 power 12 alpha particle, that is a nuclei of helium per second, falls on a neutral space. Find the time in which space gets charged by 2 mu coulomb. Means they are given 10 power 12 alpha particle. Alpha particle is a nuclei of helium per second, only per second, falls on the neutral space. Neutral space means there is no charges. In that space it falls. Find the time. They are asking the time in which the sphere gets charged. This is a neutral space. 10 power 12 is an alpha particle which is a nuclei of helium which is falls on a neutral space. They are asking the time when the neutral space of that particle will be charged by 2 mu coulomb. Okay, let us find it. Everyone knows think that the charge equal to Q. I mean Q equal to Ne. Alpha particle is a nuclei. Nuclei is a charge is a plus 2 electron. So here plus 2 given. Then n equal to 10 power 12 t because the time 10 power 12 is the alpha particle and time, so they asked us to find the time, so n equal to 10 power 12 t. Then E, I think everyone knows that is a plus 2 here. Then right, E also that another thing also 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Then let us do the sums. Q equal to here given mu means 10 power minus 6, then Q equal to 2 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb. Let us find the sum. Q equal to N E Q 2 into 10 power minus 6. Then 10 power 12 is that N and T is given. The not given, we have to mention it. Then plus plus not multiple of 2 electron. Then here we need time. So take it time right side or left side. Bring this down. Let's see 2 into 10 power minus 6. 10 power 12 plus 2 electron. E means 1.6 in 10 power 90. So separate these and plus 2. Then find it. T equal to that 2, these 2 cancel. Then 10 power minus 6. 10 power minus plus 12 will go outside and become a 10 power minus 12. Then E will be behind there itself. Then finally by adding these powers we get 10 power minus 19. I think so electron will be given 1.6 in 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Finally, if you summarize this, you will get 6.25 second. Dear friends, we will mainly facing these upon sums which is very simple, but we have to solve it with the correct given. We have to take a correct given and solve it in a particular formula. So don't forget the formula. Without knowing formula we cannot solve the problems easily. I think so this sum will be very useful to you. Then we are going to see about the Coulomb's law. I think so Coulomb's law will be known to everyone. I don't need to teach about this anything. So then I think I just tell you the formula. F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square. K means 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is the value is 9 to 10 power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb minus 2 power. Then finally epsilon naught gives value 8.854 10 power minus 12. Don't forget these constants, because based on these constants we have to prove the sums. So don't forget these constants. Then epsilon naught means permittivity of free space. I think it's known to everyone. Then Coulomb's law in vector form. F12 force on Q1 due to Q2. 12 means force on Q1 due to Q2. Then K equal to Q1 Q2 by R square R vector 21. Then force on F21 means force on Q2 to Q1, like that. So that is 2 to 1. Then final answer will be this thing. If you summarize this, we will get this final answer. It is the Coulomb's law in vector form. Okay guys, next we move to in these chapters. Then the ratio of Coulomb's force to the gravitational force between the two protons at the same distance apart is, means Coulomb's force to a gravitational force. We have to find the ratio between only two protons. One proton in Coulomb's force, another proton in gravitational force, which is present at the same distance apart. During that time we have to find a ratio. That ratio is equal to E square by 4 pi epsilon naught gravitation G mp mass of proton. Another thing is a mass of proton. This is the ratio. Final answer will be like this: 1.3 into 10 power 36. Then continuous charge distribution. There are two types in it. One is a linear, another is a surface. Linear charge density, lambda equal to charge by length. Lambda equal to charge by length. Don't forget these things, because many problems have arisen using these two formulas. I have checked many more times, so don't forget these formulas. Surface charge density formula equal to sigma equal to charge by area. SI unit for linear equal to Cm inverse. For surface charge density equal to Cm power minus 2. Then again electric field. Electric field, I think so known to everyone, which means the field where is the electricity is gained means produced, is called electric field. Then due to a point charge, this is the diagram for that. Electric dipole means a pair of two equal charges, I means opposite minus and plus charges, which is separated by a small distance, that is a L, and is a two charges separated by a distance R. This is called the electric dipole. Next is about electric field due to an electric dipole. First of all, for the axial line, I think it's known to everyone, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. And for equatorial line, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r square. Don't forget these 2 points. Then torque, I think so torque everyone know tau equal to Pe sin theta. For if you are finding angle, you should mention Pe sin theta, or for normal tau equal to Pe only. Torque on electric dipole field, it is for only uniform electric field, not for another things. Then torque acting on a dipole is maximum, means if one torque is acting on a dipole, it is maximum when the dipole is perpendicular to the field. Otherwise it will be not maximum. When the torque is minimum, means when the dipole is parallel to the field. If it is perpendicular, the torque will be maximum. If it is dipole, it is normal. I mean if it is parallel, it will be minimum. So don't forget these points. And then electric flux, I think so electric flux will be known to everyone. Flux equal to EDS. Then Gauss theorem. Gauss theorem states that the electric field emerging out from any closed surface is equal to the net charge summation q enclosed by the surface divided by epsilon. It is the theorem, so we have to have to mug up it. So don't judge it. We will be later recall it. So don't leave it. Okay. Then the formula is flux EDS equal to q by epsilon naught, because integral means net charge summation q divided by epsilon naught. This is the electric flux. Electric flux emerging out. See, electric flux emerging out from any closed surface, which is equal to the net charge. Net charge is this q which is divided by the epsilon naught, that is the surface. That surface is divided the enclosed surface, I mean a net charge. Surface net charge. This is the relation for the Gauss theorem. Then Gaussian surface. The surface must be a Gaussian, means what are the conditions it should be have. It should be an imaginary surface, because we cannot create a original Gaussian theorem, it's not possible. So it should be an imaginary surface. It is spherical for infinite sheet of charge conducting and non-conducting spheres. It is only spherical. It should be a spherical. Okay. What are the things mean? Sheet of charge conducting and non-conducting spheres. Then for application of Gauss law. Application of Gauss law means electric field due to an infinity long thin uniformly charged straight wire. Electric field due to infinitely. Mention this word infinitely, because the finer sheet also they are present. So infinity long thin uniformly charged straight wire. For that E is equal to sigma by 2 pi epsilon naught r. Here sigma is used for lambda. Lambda is used for linear charge density. I think I already delivered you about this. There we see that linear and surface. For linear we should have used lambda. Then for a thin spherical shell, next for thin spherical shell, I think so everyone knows about it. Outside the shell, guys, listen this one thing. In everywhere electric field will be 0 inside the shell. Don't forget this, electric field will be 0 anytime inside the spherical shell. Okay, first for outside the shell, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Then for surface of the shell, that is the capital R equal to R, I mean radius of the shell to the another shell, small r always equal to the capital R. So E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R square. Then inside the shell, I already told you that inside the electric field is always 0, means small r is less than capital R, means the small radius which is less than the capital radius. We should have known that. Here q is equal to 4 pi r square sigma. Here mentioned it. This is a graphical representation for this relation, so don't forget this. Then another thing is for charged non-conducting charge sphere, means it should be a solid. Here also the same thing, outside the sphere it will be E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, and the surface 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, same thing. But inside the sphere you should have to mention that it is a non-conducting charged sphere. Non-conducting charged sphere, there is no electric field will be even though there is an electric field, it not conducted. So there will be some electric field will be present, but it not conduct. So that inside the sphere electric field will be present. Here rho r by 3 epsilon naught, that is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q r by r cube. Here same, the r condition will be same, r less than r, but it is a non-conducting sphere, charged sphere. So that non-conducting means even though if you pass some electric field, it will not conduct, but there will be a presence of electric field. But in a charged sphere, electric field will be 0, because the inside the sphere the negative charge, if you pass the positive charge, there will be answer 0. But here inside it there is no charge, means no conducting charged sphere, so that the electric field will be produced but not conducted, so that there will be some electric field. So that inside the sphere E is equal to this formula will be applicable. Thank you. Tomorrow I will take about the 4th and 5th lesson, I mean capacitors, etc. And finally we will be seen about the alternating currents on tomorrow. Thank you. If you have any doubts or queries, please reply me for that and give me suggestion how to improve my quality and improve these points. Thank you so much. Bye.